17 to 21, we think we're all of that and some, right? We know it all. We know what's happening with our parents. We know it. And what happens is we really don't. We really don't know what the parents are carrying inside of us. So your hardest challenge is going to be when you are getting yelled at, reprimanded, for you to take a step back and to just allow it to be and to come back with ahimsa, considerate thoughts, considerate actions, considerate words. That's going to be tough for you. Because it's not easy, right? It's not easy for me. Let me give you an example. So sometimes I'm a very driven person. I'm very focused. I'm driven. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, and I don't care. If I tell you I'm going to get something, I'm going to get it. If I tell you whatever. That's just the way that I am. That's the way I operate, right? So I get up and I'm totally driven, and I'm getting dressed, and my husband is like taking forever, slow, and all of a sudden my humanness starts to show. My humanness comes out, and I start to tell him, "Apúrate, hurry up! My God, look at, wash your face faster, hurry up!" And he's washing his face, taking it easy, and then I walk into my closet. And I start to change, and I'm still yelling at him, right? And I come out of there, and I'm going, "You're still standing there in front of the mirror. What's up?" Right? He turns around, and he looks at me, and he says, "Honey, are you sure that what you're doing is what you really want to do?" Very calmly, just like that. I wanted to punch his lights out. I wanted to scratch out his eyes and everything, right? He says, "Honey, what do you teach your students?" That was even worse. I was like, thank God there's no vase next to me, because I'm picking it up and I'm going to hit him over the head, right? So my humanness was showing. So I took a deep breath. I went back into the closet. I took some, I have some water there. I took some water. I came out and I said, "Ahimsa. Thank you for making me to see that I was acting without ahimsa. Thank you." And that's all I said. All of a sudden, everything was fine. We got to the place we needed to get to with enough time. It all was great. All was great. Because he didn't react. So when you practice ahimsa, you got to realize that you cannot react. You also have to realize that sometimes your humanness is going to come out and rear its ugly head. Right? And you got to be aware when that's happening. And you got to be a big enough person to step away, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, know that you can release it, come back to the situation, and be a better person. That's how you handle ahimsa. Same thing when somebody's walking by there, and what happens? Your mind begins to say, "Oh, honey, why you look like that?" Right? Oh, or like, "God, can you breathe in those pants?" That's what goes through our mind. Right? So that's not acting with ahimsa in our thoughts. When we have those kinds of thoughts, we got to go cancel, cancel, cancel. Even though that person doesn't know that you're thinking that, you do, and you're sending that vibration out there. And when you send that vibration out there, you've got to realize that it's gathering more things just like it is, and it's going to bring them to you. So if you've got a negative thought, if you've got a judgment thought, I guarantee you it's going to come back to you. And you're not even going to know what hit you. So it's not, the things that happen to us when we lose things, when we can't find something, those are just little nuances, little notices from the universe telling you, you did something. You got to be more aware. There's a reason that this is happening to you. Does that make sense? But what happens is we don't take a look at that. We just keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. And that doesn't help us. So ahimsa, I want you to understand, it includes your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And remember, what comes out of your mouth was first a thought. So if you can stop it at the level of the thought, that's even better. But if you can't and you allow your words to come out like you're so stupid, we have a tendency to call our friends and we think it's funny. You're so stupid. No? Right? We do that all the time. It's such a dumb shit, man. Right? We do that all the time. That's not good. Choose a different word. You don't know how much you're actually hurting that person because you don't know if that person has something embedded with that word. Let me give you an example. For me, the word stupid has a very negative connotation. Very negative since I was a child. But when we hear students and friends tell us, you're so stupid. When my friends used to tell me that, they had absolutely no idea how much they were crushing me. That's not a good word to use. So we've got to be careful with the words that we choose. We now have to begin to language the correct language for ahimsa. That means you do not use you are stupid. You do not use you are dumb. You do not use all of those words that you don't know could crush another spirit. That's what ahimsa means. Now, can you use the word silly? Yes. Use the word silly. Use a different word. Use a word that makes absolutely no sense. That's even better because there's no connotation hooked into that. You're such a Charlie. Right? What does Charlie mean? Who knows, right? But that's a heck of a lot better than you're so stupid or you're such an idiot. Oh my God, retard, right? We do that all the time. That's not ahimsa. That, my friends, is not acceptable in the yogic way of life. It is not acceptable. You choose words that are going to enhance, empower, and enlighten and lift the spirit. Not words that are going to crush the spirit. And whatever you do, if I ever hear you guys saying it to a child, I will hurt you. And that's not a threat, that's a promise. Because children are the most vulnerable. So begin to language a different language. Begin to notice how many times you just say to your friend, hey, retard. Right? Hey, dog. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be called a dog. I'm nobody's dog. Yes? But we use that connotation just because it's acceptable. But what ahimsa tells us is use words that are going to, again, I repeat, lift the